1763, the British gained control of Florida. The Spaniards signed it over in the Treaty of Paris that ended the 7 Years' War. Britain began to move her people into this new territory, offering large amounts of land to woo settlers into crossing the ocean to start plantations. Dr. Andrew Turnbull and his partner, Sir William Duncan, each received 20,000 acres of land just south of St. Augustine. In 1768, Dr. Turnbull arrived on the coast of Florida with well over 1,000 people to establish a new settlement for Britain. These settlers had traveled from all over the Mediterranean to start a new life raising cattle and growing crops, specifically indigo. But by 1777, the settlement of Smyrnea was abandoned. Those who survived famine and disease, less than half, fled to St. Augustine. Today, the town of New Smyrna Beach stands at the heart of the settlement's province. Very little remains to remind visitors and residents of the previous inhabitants.
The visible reminders of this settlement are the remains of the old stone wharf, which is downtown on the riverside, just south of town. There are still drainage canals that exist, with the South Canal, as it's called, or the Gabordi Canal, being the border between the city of New Smyrna Beach and the city of Edgewater.
The Minorcan culture, brought with many of the settlers, remains strong today, with the Minorcan society thriving in St. Augustine. In 1854, the first signs of the old settlement appeared when workers found the remains of the large coquina building. These ruins were reconstructed to look like a fort in the 1930s. The area has been named the Old Fort Park because of these early assumptions.
Coquina Foundation ruins in the city's Old Fort Park downtown are said to be various things by later historians, but the latest information we've been able to gather from communications from Dr. Turnbull to his partner, Sir William Duncan in London, is that he was beginning a manor house to be used by the Duncans. We don't think that it was completed because the colonists all walked off in 1777, leaving many things undone.
In fact, it wasn't until the 1990s that anyone really thought about Smyrnea. In 1995, Robert Grange and Dot Moore found tabby floors and artifacts that reflected the time period, as well as conditions, of a busy little town. With the help of Dana St. Clair and numerous volunteers, they excavated a dwelling site.
The most interesting site that we've worked on was the first dwelling site that was found in 1996. It was a duplex. We had no idea when we started the project what we'd find, what the construction would be, or anything about it. So this was found before we got later, several years later, information that indeed they were duplex houses. So we had proven that by archaeology before we actually got the historical documentation about it.
By 1998, the cities of New Smyrna Beach and Port Orange, along with the help of Volusia County, obtained grant money from the Florida Department of State. With this funding, they conducted a survey to locate sites associated with the settlement. More than 40 sites have been found to date.
Most of the 40 that we identified have not actually been fully excavated. They have been documented, and if necessary for salvage or some other purposes, we would excavate them, but for now we just know where they are. We want to keep track of them and make sure they're preserved or protected or excavated if really they have to be.
While only 5 of these sites have been excavated, the information gained from them has proved invaluable in numerous ways. Archaeologists have learned not only about the settlement, but also about British influence in Minorcan lives.
All the artifacts that we've been able to find so far have been British made. Meaning that Turnbull was importing all the materials that these people were supplied, whether it's ceramics or glass or whatever. They did not bring things with them from Minorca, where the majority of the people came from. They came over on small ships, probably with only the amount of material they could carry on their back, perhaps a few heirloom pieces, and that would be it.
For the information we do have, however, plans for an interpretive site are in the works.
One of the identified British sites, the property has been purchased by Volusia County for preservation, and plans are to establish an archaeological learning center there, in which we will bring people in to excavate, to learn. There is a large British site on the property. An indigo processing system was there, the only really known one that we know of, and it shows on maps from that time period.
Many of the artifacts that were found are on display in the New Smyrna Museum of History, located in downtown New Smyrna. The museum has an exhibit specifically about Smyrnea, as well as a general chronological walkthrough of the town, from prehistory until the present. The museum is open Tuesday through Saturday from 10 until 4. Admission is free. For more information, check out their website at www.nsbhistory.org. Thank you.